I don't know about you, but for me, the 2 days of the year where I'm the hungriest seem to be Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. You know, it seems like we don't think about food until we can't have it. You know, a couple years ago, my doctor started me on Ozempic, one of those diabetes medicines, and there's days because of that I forget to eat all day long, and I'm fine. But without fail, every single year on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, I wake up earlier than normal, hungrier than ever I could eat a whole cow. And why is that? Why is it that when we are told not to do something, we're like, but I want it so much. We're like, feed me more, let me eat. I want a big, just juicy steak today. And we're like, no red meat. If you want fish, that's fine. And it seems to be that basic discipline and basic disobedience is almost like ingrained into us. We're told as kids, if we want something, ask for it. And if you're told no, then be okay with that. And yet we grow into adults that's like, no, if I want something, I'm gonna get it. And that's part of our struggle when it comes sometimes to the season of Lent, it seems. You know, sometimes we're asked the same question, which unfortunately is the wrong question when it comes to Lent. How many times have you in your life, or has somebody asked you in your life, what are you giving up for Lent? You know, we get asked that on a consistent basis. And Lent, again, is not meant as a season of giving things up. But that's part of our societal misunderstanding of what this season is. That's where the whole idea of Fat Tuesday even comes in. We're going to gorge ourselves on all of these just pleasurable things and then be sick all day on Ash Wednesday, so we don't want to eat anyways, right? No, it's not. That's not what it's about. Ash Wednesday is the beginning of the season of Lent where, as the gospel tells us today, we're called to pray, to fast, and to give alms in secret. We miss out on that part. And yet it's the only thing that's repeated not once, not twice, but 3 times in the gospel. Your Father who sees in secret will repay you. You know, even with all of these new fads that we fall into sometimes with social media, it's all about, hey, I'm taking off Lent. I'll see you at Easter. I'm fasting from social media. It's like, do it in secret. You don't have to tell everybody you're not on social media. The problem, though, is we feel like everybody needs to know everything every moment of every day, and the reality is they don't. But we feel like we have missed out on something if we aren't in the know about everything, and we don't let everybody know everything, including like what we had for breakfast and lunch and dinner every day of every minute, and don't just tell them about it, but take little pictures of it. Now, societally, we're a little bit past that, I think, with Instagram and things, but sometimes we fall into those temptations, and then new fads pop up. Did you know that there's a fad specifically around Ash Wednesday with social media? You know, when you go and vote, what do? You take a selfie with your I voted sticker, right? The new fad that started a few years ago with the young adults and the college-age kids is to take a picture with your ashes. And then it gets worse. To make sure to caption it, hashtag #AshTag. It's like, really, guys, you are missing the point. You know, it's always been interesting as a priest to kind of see the ebbs and flows throughout the year of what masses have more people, how many do we need to have for this, and how many do we need to have for this. And growing up, we had heard about C&E Catholics. Most of us know what C&E Catholics are, right? Christmas and Easter. We show up for family celebration for Christmas, we show up for family celebration for Easter. But the older I've gotten, the more I've realized we aren't C&E Christians and Catholics anymore. We've developed into PACE Catholics, kind of like keeping that bare minimum, right? And what is that PACE but Palm Sunday, Ash Wednesday, Christmas, and Easter Catholics? That many times we try and show at those 4 moments. And the interesting thing is, Ash Wednesday, of those 4, is not a holy day of obligation. Do you know how many days of obligation there are a year? 56. Every Sunday, plus the other holy days that are sprinkled in. And it's interesting that the one that we post the most about on social media is the one where we're told, do this in secret. And yet it's the one that's not an obligation, so we want to be here. It's like, wait a second. I mean, I know we're disobedient, but come on. It's kind of interesting that it's kind of worked its way into sometimes our culture without even realizing it. How awesome would it be if, not on Ash Wednesday, but on the 13th Sunday of Ordinary Time, just random date out there, 13th Sunday in Ordinary Time, hashtag I went to Mass today. But we wouldn't think about it that way, right? We think about it when we want to be part of the group. We want to be part of that mob mentality, and how can we be just like everyone else? And yet, God has created you uniquely different from everyone else. And that's the beauty of this season of Lent. That God is calling you specifically to pray, to fast, and to give alms. Not just during this 40 days of Lent, but to begin anew a path of life that takes out of your life the distractions and obstacles that we allow in our life. So if social media keeps you from spending time with God, take it out. If you're addicted to caffeine, take it out with the caveat, this is your penance, not everyone else's. You know, a couple years ago, I think I talked about this. One of my really close priest friends who's addicted to coffee, he's 100% addicted to coffee. He said, Danny, this year I'm giving up coffee for Lent. I said, please don't. He said, why not? Because your people are going to hate you, and I'm going to hear about it. It's like, no, it'll be fine. 2 days in, he's like, yeah, that was a bad idea. You know, people that like, you can't talk to them in the morning before they've had like 3 cups of coffee and like 2 espressos. He's one of those guys. And it's like, guys, again, what you're giving up, what you are trying to seek to avoid are those things that are inside of your relationship with God, keeping you from being who He's created you to be. And so, yes, maybe take it from 10 cups a day to like 5 cups a day. And if that is something that actually stands in a relationship with God, then take it out, definitely. But don't just do what everyone else is doing to be part of the group. You know, for us growing up as kids, I think my parents were just maniacal because Lent would always fall pretty quickly closely after Valentine's Day. This year it's about a month later, but Mom for Valentine's Day every year, because her mom did it for Valentine's Day, makes jumbo Hershey's Kisses. Not jumbo, jumbo Hershey's Kisses. To a kid that likes junk food, it's like, the heck with Christmas and Easter, I like Valentine's Day. And then without fail, the family penance every year was no junk food. So we would either gorge on that Hershey's Kiss to make sure we ate it before Lent started, or we would take 2 or 3 bites out of it, make the mistake of putting it in the freezer because that's where chocolate holds, and then eat freezer-burned chocolate on Easter Sunday and get sick. What you give up for Lent, you're not supposed to gorge yourself on Easter Sunday. That completely detracts from the purpose of this season. And yet many times that becomes our habit. You know, when we receive the ashes on our face, it's meant to remind us of our mortality. That this life is not what it's all about, but it's about our life in heaven. When you receive the ashes, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. It's a reminder to us that we are so frivolous with things in our life, that we allow so many things to distract us from what really matters. So what really matters? The love of God. So how can we best embrace that during this time, during this season, so that when we get to Easter, we can rejoice and say, man, I did not waste this last 40 days, but I allowed it to change my heart, to change my life. I allowed myself to grow in my faith. I made some sacrifices, sometimes big, sometimes small, sometimes needed, sometimes not. I prayed a little bit more because I allowed myself that extra time. And then I gave back from what God has given to me in a way that I had never thought to do before. You know, I hated growing up hearing about praying, fasting, and almsgiving because nobody likes to hear about almsgiving. It's not about your finances. It's about your time, your talent, and your treasures. How can you give back from what God has blessed you with? If you can give back in time during this, maybe volunteer at one of the fish fries, maybe volunteer at the food bank, volunteer at one of the nursing homes, volunteer to do something good in the community. That is almsgiving. You're giving from what you've received, the abilities and gifts and skills to give back. If you were blessed financially in a new way this year, maybe it is how can I give back to the church, to a charity, to something in need? But then also, how do you recognize your talents and how do you use them? I was so happy when Kathy reached out to me and said, hey, Father, can we have the bilingual choir tonight? I said, yes. Why? Because many times if you go to the masses in English, we see a smaller choir. But there are more in our community of faith, English-speaking, Spanish-speaking, Catholic people that have beautiful voices. You don't hear it, but I do. Maybe God is calling you to give back that gift of the voice that He's blessed you with. And not just ladies, but men. Some of you guys have those baritones and those bass voices that Kathy can do wonders with. I don't. You know, my mom was always told, we're called to make a joyful noise. So I'm going to sing to the top of my lungs, and if God doesn't like it, He'll change it. He didn't change it. To the chagrin of many of our siblings, He didn't change it. Can't find the pitch to save her life, but still sings to the top of her lungs at Mass. Why? Because she knows that when we come to Mass, we're called to participate actively in every aspect that we're able to. And so, my brothers and sisters, during this Lent, I pray that each and every one of us truly takes seriously the call to pray, to fast, and to give from what God has given to us. Because at some point, the Lord will call you home. And everything you have behind here, with you here, stays here except for love. We even hear that from St. Paul. Faith, hope, love. The greatest of these three remain, and the greatest is love. We have hope and expectation in the resurrection, in our opportunity to go to heaven. We have faith that everything that is being taught up here from the Gospels, from the Catechism, from canon law is actual truth. But we'll get that answer when we die, when we return to God, who is love. And so, my brothers and sisters, as we prepare to receive our ashes, when we're reminded of our mortality, may we truly embrace the saying, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return.